Right, today then is about emails, and we're talking really about, this is the way that that U3AWEB really keeps in touch with people, and they are not sent out. The system does not send them out directly. We found over time that it's better to send them out through Google, and they just get better. It seems to get better, less going to spam and that sort of thing by going that. So we use Google. Use Google Workspace to actually. So we send it to them and they send it in. So there are 136 different emails that the system, different types of emails that the system sends out, and I'm not going to go through them all this afternoon, but what the system does do is to keep a history. It remembers all the emails that have gone out, and that's where I will start. Right, so you can look at the emails that are being sent out in lots of different ways, lots of different places, but the main place is in the administrator menu, email history. So you can see all the emails that have been sent out in this one thing, this one screen, but it only shows you 100 at a time. So you can select either by person or by email type. So if we start and sort of have a look at someone like Keith Jones, here are all his emails that he's received. Now, obviously, that's a long list as well. So what you can do is look at the various types, and here's all the 136 different email types that are sent out. And it's a drop-down list here. Can you see the drop-down list? No, you can't. No. Right. Okay. Sorry, I should show you the whole page rather than show you the thing. So I'm just going to come out of this and go back into it again. Right. So now you're getting the whole screen.
Yeah.
So if I now you can see it, can't you?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Yeah. So here is the full list of all the email types that the system produces, and you can just select one of these types. So if we just, as I say, I've just selected that one, and so you can effectively drill down using this to. So we've ended up getting Keith Jones's confirmed membership, and so there's the last few years confirmed membership emails that have been sent to him.
Does this apply to every member?
Does it apply to every member?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So if we wanted to look for somebody,
they're not group leaders or committee members then.
No. This is if you want to select a particular person. So
who's in U3A? Yeah.
Anybody. Yes. Anybody.
Okay. Got it.
It's the emails he's received rather than the emails he's sent. So yeah. It's just a record of what he's received. So up to 100 emails.
Is that refined list, Chris, only from the 100 emails that the history listed, or does it go beyond that?
No, it's a complete list. It's a complete list of it. So it's gone.
Yeah, well, I think what Richard is trying to say, Chris, is don't we have nearly 300 members?
Yeah, that's okay, but you've selected them individually.
Yes. So this is just my test system. So this is.
I see. Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
So I'm just looking at sort of so if I'm just finding somebody, I haven't got that many. I've got all sorts of strange named people, but so now we've got Jude Law, and so now we can find you can have a look at his. Oh, we haven't got any of those.
Can you pick mine up, Ken Humphreys, then?
No.
No, because this is a test system. This is my
I
test
see.
system.
Okay. All right. I'm with you.
So, I can't find anything for Jude Law. But this must be something in there for him. Oh, there we go. There's his annual renewal. And what it gives you is this button on the right hand side will give you the content of the email, but if it's an email that's sent out from a template, in other words, you've sent out lots of emails and to the same person at the same time, and you can see on this one it's been sent out to loads and loads and loads of people. You don't get the individual email, you get the template on which it was based, because obviously all the information here has changed. Changes depending on the person it's sent to. So you can get those. So it'll give you the detail of who you sent to.
Chris, if you scroll down, does it show anything else?
What, this?
Yeah. Oh, it's yeah.
Yes, it shows the.
Yes,
I
thought so. Yeah.
It shows the content of the email that goes out. It just doesn't show, where.
Yeah, where it's from.
Yeah, where this section here had it would have sent.
Yeah.
Dear Neil or Dear Arnold or whatever it is. It just changes it to. It leaves it as the original template. So that's the place to see. If you don't know what type of email or who it is or whatever it is, this is the one that covers everything. There are then sort of subsets of it, which are things like in the membership secretary has got access to their emails, and this is a list of the last 100 emails that they've sent out. So you wouldn't use this to find a particular person, but you might use it to say, well, did something go out yesterday? If you want to have a look at a particular person, then you would look in the member view. And so if we go, so if we look at this particular member, Peter Clive, his email history sits here. So this is his membership email history, so there's a check my details update and renewal and all sorts of stuff in here, which this one here, the top one here, was an individual email sent specifically to him, and so you've got the full detail of what was actually sent to him. It's not in a template format. So that's the membership element of it. There is a small one as well for message history. There's another one called here, which is you're not going to get very much of this. This is people sending things from the forum or the message board, and there's history there for basically the message coordinator to see what emails have come in and gone out. Groups. This is group leaders and group coordinators. That obviously they have access to their groups, and so if we look at something like the bridge group here, you have here an envelope here which will give you all the emails that have been sent out by the coordinator or the group leader. Will be here. Now, recently we've had an issue where when using subscriptions or there tends to be an awful lot of subscription payment emails, and that can sort of drown out the rest of the email list. So you've got a link up here which you can use, which will exclude anything subscriptions, charges, and payments. and so you get a more meaningful list of emails. So that's a recent change in, I can't remember this. I think it's in
12.
11.10, I think.
Is it? Well, I did think so.
Oh, it's in 12 then, is it?
So.
Okay. Yeah, it might well be in 12 when that comes along. So, so that's all the ways in which you can view emails. Generally, the system holds 12 months of emails, but you can define, if you wanted to change that and hold 18 months or only 6 months, you can do that. But the default that's set in the system is 12 months. So, right, okay, let's talk about the different types of...
Sorry, how do you get, you said there was 100 displayed. How do you display more than 100, the next 100 and so on? Or do you have to break it down then?
If you want more, well, in terms of, what in terms of group ones you're thinking of? Or?
Well, I mean, if you've only do 100, say up to 2 months ago, and you've got
Yeah, well, that's
400 to look at.
I think that's where this email history comes in here, where you can, you know, if you're trying to search for something, this is the page to use in terms of.
So you break it down to the type of.
To the type of email. So if you just said you wanted, I don't know, application to join. Oh, right, marvelous.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like on Google, you can say first 50, next 50, and so on all the
Yeah,
way.
no, it's not set up like that. It's set up so you can basically select who you want.
Yeah. Okay.
From here. But I'm not sure we've had any requirement to go beyond that. Anyway, that's how it is at the moment. Anyway, we have so emails that are sent out from the system. There are basically 3 types of emails. There are ones that are notifications, and these are emails that are sent. You don't have any control over the format of them. Excuse me, but they are. Basically notifications of changes that have perhaps been made. So there, if you like, there's system-based emails which will say, back to Peter Clive, there was one there. So there's a things like this. Check my details. This is a standard format one which you can't control, but what it's doing is just saying you that Peter Clive made a change to his. He changed his email address from that to that. So and so those types of emails, and there are quite a few of those, and you get them, but you can't, but you can't really do anything with them except, just obviously they're there just to record the fact that the event has happened. The next type of emails are system emails, and these are emails which you do have control over. They are there for a specific purpose, and there's 39 of those, and I've set them up in 12.1's release notes. So here are the 39 emails that are in, they're all in systems details so that you can change them. And they are all, there is a list of them and a description of what they are. So if we have a look at one of them, let's have a look at it. Let's have a look at the renewal email. It's currently called Renewal Email 1, and that's the email. This is the email that's sent out when it's time to renew, and it's the first time that you're asking for payment. Now, the thing you might say is, well, that's that's not very helpful in terms of a description. Renewal Email 1, and so you can actually change the name of these emails. And you do that in the feature list, just this second line down here for the systems details. So if we look at, right, so here we go. So right down here, renewal email 1. If you don't like the name of it, you've got a pencil and paper here in the list so that you can actually change that to say, I don't know, we'll just call it renewal reminder or whatever you want.
There is a character limitation on that, Chris.
There's a what?
There's a character limitation on that length of string.
Oh, right, yes.
You can type 40 or 50 characters in that field, but when it goes back to the list, it only shows about 30, I think.
Yes, yeah, yes. That's because it needs to fit into the systems details one. So hopefully renewal reminder. And then if you want to, you can also change the description, you know, here on change the sequence. So you can update that information. So now if we go back to systems details again, so it's now called renewal reminder. So so what can we do with the format? So this is the renewal reminder format, and you can and in here you can basically define what you want it to say. And you've got all the sort of editing things here to actually change name, change it, change the cut. You can put color in there. You can put images in there. You can put links in there, and also you can put these things called templates. And these templates are covered in, they're surrounded by curly brackets. So if you put in their member name, when it comes to send that the renewal reminder, it will change member name to the person's forename and family name. And the way in which you insert these, I'll just take it out, is if you want to insert the, you put that template in. You can either type it, you could type it in if you want to, but there's a danger you might get the format wrong. This you click insert, and then at the bottom it says insert a template, and down from here you've got the list of the templates that are available for this particular email. They do vary from email to email. You can choose the ones that you want. Can't see it now. There we go. So if you want the name of the member, you click on there. It brings that format up, and if you OK it, it drops it back into the place where you left the cursor last. So it'll move that one in. So you know, these are useful for things like bulk emails and other sort of multi-send emails. Another key one here is the auto login, which appears in several emails. This is where if somebody you can use this, it will insert a link which enables the person receiving the email to. It will be a unique link for them, so it will enable them to click on it and go directly into the payment page to make their renewal payment in this case. So it's good. It's auto login, and I think that's quite widely used.
But that only works once, doesn't it, Chris?
You mean if you click it more than once?
They can click that link on their email once, but if they come back to the email 20 minutes, they abandon it and then come back 20 minutes later. If they click it again, it doesn't work, does it?
It expires. That's right, and it expires after 4 weeks, or yes, it's a single-use one.
Or if you refresh it.
Yeah, the admin person can refresh it, but that's somewhere else.
That's somewhere else. Yes, you can. Yeah, but so from an email point of view, it's fairly useful, I think.
If you do the automatic login and it fails to make a payment, which we seem to have regular, does that mean you can't come back and do it for another month?
No. What it means is the person will always be able to log in and make their payment, because they will have if they owe some money and you've set it up, you've asked this entity there, this make a payment will be up on the left hand side, so they can always go in and log in and do it. This was a shortcut. This is a shortcut to so if they've got one chance to use it. Once it's used, then you can't use it again.
Fail or otherwise.
That's right.
No, only they can't use it again from the email, but they can still log in to make their payment via what Chris is pointed at now.
Yeah.
Yes. But also you've got the second stage of renewal is the the reminder of the reminder, if you like. That also has an auto login as well. So if they don't pay and you say after a month you send out the reminder, that will send them out a new link and they can use that then. So
is there any way to reset those links so that if they tried again on the original email, they would get through, or not?
I think
Yes.
Is it refresh the original one?
Yeah, as far as I know it does, Chris. I believe so. I think we used that last year.
Yeah, there's certainly the option to renew it. I just wondered if there's available a new one, but it's not. No, I think right. Yes, yeah. So yes, you can refresh it. So if they can't pay and they want to do it, they contact the membership secretary and they can click on the little, it's the red clock, isn't it? And make it a go to green.
Sorry, I'm sitting here saying yes, and my mic's turned off. Yes, you click on the little red clock.
Yes, and turn it to green. Right. So so that's the this one's got a lot of templates in it. It's pretty much all the templates in this one, and by setting it up and saving it, remember to update the thing at the top. And then it will use that email when it comes to actually sending out the reminder. So if we go back to this, so just going back to here, so every single one of these will enable you to go and do all those things to that email. You can customize it to the way you want it, and use those templates as you need. As I say, they're all listed. Well, I was going to say they're all listed. For me, they're all listed in the in systems details. Then you may find that you haven't included some of them in systems details, in which case you need to use the section list update to add them into to add them from the function in the features. I wasn't planning to sort of go through that today, but if we want to go through that later on, I'm happy to do that. But basically, all those are available in systems details. Right. Okay. So the next type of emails are request type emails. These are there's a list of them which contact us. So if somebody clicks the contact us button when they're not logged in, then whoever is nominated as the person who receives the contact us will receive an email with the information that is in that the visitor types in. So also you've got things such as we go to the members directory. Nope, you can't do it from there, can you? You've got to do it from the member's name, haven't you? So you've got in member view, you've got send an email, so you can send an email to as if you are the membership secretary, you can send an email to that particular person, and it's just again, it's the same type of format as the other one. It doesn't. It's not set up in the way with all the text functions we can see in the renewal email. It's just there for messaging a particular person.
You can do that from the previous list, Chris. From the actual member directory list that you had previously.
I didn't. Yeah, I couldn't see it there. That's why.
No, you didn't go across quite to the left enough. It's sandwiched in there between the address and the membership type.
Oh.
Your cursor's there.
Okay. There. Of course it is. Yes. Yes, of course it is. Right. So it's in the list as well. Thanks, Richard. Yeah. Yeah. I looked at the end and couldn't see it. Yeah. Right. Yes. Okay. So that's the this is the membership secretary contacting a member, presumably about their members' information. Group leaders. Again, if we go back to the bridge group, group leaders, group coordinators can contact all their members using or a subset of their members by using. Sorry, I should have said by clicking on the @ sign in the top on the icons at the top of the group. And there you can click. You can just click everybody, and it will put everybody in. Clear the list. You can either send it to the whole group, or you can decide just by clicking on the ones. I'll send it to there and to there. And then once you've selected anybody, then you go in there, and in this case, you have got access to the editing feature as well. So the group leader can send out a if you like a bulk email to all their group and format it, and put all the colours and the images or whatever they want to do, and put attachments in it as well.
Chris, it's worth pointing out to people if they're unfamiliar with it that it does actually time out. So if you're typing away gaily there, it may have disconnected the server, which is why you've got save email body.
Yes, yeah, 15. Well, it's just about if you do it for more than 20 minutes, if you sit without updating it, you can lose that information. So it's certainly worthwhile pushing the save. You actually get a warning message after 15, I think, telling you.
Sometimes they leave that they're away from the machine and they come back. Well, probably still there then, isn't it? Yeah, I know we've had people complain about it in the past.
So that is the group leaders to their members.
Chris, before you move on from here, this is rather timely. I've had a query from a couple of our group leaders about that text editor that they use for emails and what have you. I know it's a bit of third-party software as far as I know, and it does underline spelling mistakes with a zigzaggy red line, but I've been asked, is there any way that you could include a spell checker that gives sort of options on how to spell it and that and there and
the software that's used is called TinyMCE. Yes, it's free software, and it's generally available. But obviously, the reason they give it away free is they want you to upgrade to their more sophisticated versions or sophisticated features, such as spell checker. So
so it's a payable for functionality, as it were.
That's right. Yeah. There is a feature in the system which allows, if you switch it on, it allows members of the group to contact other members of the group.
If it's not switched on, Chris, go to the pen and paper icon.
You can't see it unless you're in edit mode.
It's what, sorry?
You can't see it unless you're in the edit mode.
Look, members send emails. So it's an option. Yes, sorry, right, yes. because the other one I looked at had it. Now that's it. So yes. So if you say that you allow your members to communicate with each other about the group things, then
They can only communicate to everybody, Chris, not individuals.
Correct.
well, I don't know why that. I shall have a look at that because it's something it's quite widely used, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is it widely used? I suppose.
Oh, we've only got a couple of groups with it on.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So okay, but what we can do, individual group member, is to contact is to contact the group leader. So you've got an email feature up here where you can click on here and send them an email. Or if you have a second leader, you have them both here. Let's just put a second.
Can I ask a question?
Sure. Yeah.
Group leaders, as far as I'm aware, can send emails to the group themselves, the people that's in it. But if you're trying to raise circulation, can a group leader send it to everybody on the U3A meeting, the U3A Port Matter, for example?
Yes.
Because I've had trouble doing this. Apparently, I have to get special permission.
Yeah, right. Well, yes, you use the bulk email system-wide facility for that, and we'll come to that in a few minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Right. So yes. So the group leader. Therefore, you've got two here now, which so you can send an. So you can switch that off or switch that on. Decide who you want, and that's done through an option here. Oh no, let's display the telephone. Oh, maybe they automatically.
The email comes up automatically, Chris, if they've got an email address. If the group leader has got an email address in the system, their email link comes up automatically,
Yes.
but you can say yes or no with their phone number showing.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So it's the telephone that you've got some options on whether you show that or not. Yeah. Right. And the other form of contact, if you like, is here. Contact a member. So again, you decide whether you want to switch that on, whether you want to allow the feature to allow one member to contact another member directly through the system. And again, here you put in the information about what you want to say, and you can put your email address in there if you want to, or you can leave it out. If you leave it out, the system does not give the email address away to the person you're sending it to, but it does make it a bit difficult for them to reply. But they can, I suppose, they can do it through contact a member anyway, but themselves. But so you've got the option to either provide your email address or not.
Ooh.
So those are the.
Chris,
Yes.
we don't use that facility. You're saying contact a member. You put in your email address because you're the person sending it. How does the system know who to send it to?
You type in his name up here.
Oh, for God's sake, I didn't see that. Right, okay.
If you want to send it to Keith Jones, you send it there.
Yes, okay, stupid boy. Thank you, Chris.
Right, good. Right, so those are essentially the contact emails that you've got in the system. I think that's all of them. So the next thing then is bulk email, and this is a feature that's inside for the administrator or anybody who's given the authority to do it. It's one of the authority levels in the system. So it's the capital D. So it's this one here. And you can give that to anybody. So I think, Ken, that's the answer to your question about being able to, whether you can send an email out to everybody or a subset of everybody. You need to have that particular authority given to you from
By the administrator.
Yes.
So
So
once he gives it, you can then do it.
yes.
But without it, you can't.
Without it, you can't.
Okay.
Without it, you don't get an entry. You know, with bulk email, basically.
Yeah.
So That's the way, that's the direction to go in anyway. So, but
It's
so
an important one for when you're trying to start a new group. This is where I struggle to have do it and have to get in contact with the administrator, as you said. So it's not automatically.
yes, yes. I think because you're at that point, you're trying to talk to everybody in the U3A, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So you've got to use bulk email. So bulk email. The way this works is that you set up you set up a bulk email, what they call what's called an email group, which you can use again and again. But I suspect most people don't, and they just create a new one every time they want it. But so you start off by setting up giving it a name, then decide what type of email it is. If you want to put attachments onto the email, then the system will batch them up into groups of 50. Because if you've got 400 or 500 members, everybody getting the same attachment, it's heavy on resources. And so if you want to put an attachment in, then it becomes a bulk email attachments permitted.
But you don't have to have an attachment, Chris. I mean, I think I've always found that slightly confusing because I mean, I'd rather describe it as all the same emails to everybody or personalised, and then the one that you can send to all to the same person is one that you can actually add attachments to. The other one you can't, can you?
No.
Oh, you just want to advertise you're doing something. Anybody interested?
Yeah.
No attachment within it.
No attachment, not personalised.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
So it's all right. So we'll call them, for the sake of this today, we'll call them personalised or not personalised.
Yeah.
The idea of personalised is that if you have a personalised email, then each one gets their own individual email where you're putting their name, or you might be putting other information that's specific to them in it.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Whereas
as a group leader would do.
Yeah, it's that's right. Yes. Whereas the other one, if you like, is non-personalised. That's where they all get batched together, and exactly the same email goes out to in groups of 50 to everybody, and it just becomes a more efficient way of doing it.
Christopher, can I ask the question there? With that bulk email attachments permitted, obviously the word permitted means you can or you don't have to, whichever. Let's say that you were set up for bulk email attachments permitted, but didn't put an attachment on. Do they still get batched into 50?
Yeah.
They do?
Yeah.
So it's not the fact of whether there's an attachment there or not.
No, that's
it's
what
just...
I was getting at, Alan. It's nothing to do with the attachment. It's just that you can, a non-personalised one can have attachments, another one can't.
Okay, I'm learning today. This is good.
I'm brand new to this anyway, so I'm learning every speech.
Yes, right, good. So right, so you've got the two types. So we'll pick up a personalised one to start with. Once you've chosen that's sort of fixed for the whole of the email group. So if you want one done, you have to come back and set up a new one here. The next element is you decide who you want it to send it to, and you've got a number of options, which I'm showing, and it's you can the ones that are here are things like, well, I want to send it to all members, or I want to send it to all full members, or I want to send it to members who are joined with the members of another U3A, or people who haven't renewed, or committee members, or joiners after a particular day. So there's a number there, and these are the preset ones that are set in the system. If you want any more, if there is a specific selection you want, then you can. I'm happy to put them into your system. So it's a configuration thing. It's not a system thing. Therefore, each U3A can have a different list here if they want it.
Would I be right in thinking that the not renewed would apply to the membership secretary, people who haven't renewed their payments?
Yes. So that's right. It would list out all. It would go through and list out all the people who haven't renewed. And so I'll show you in a minute. So we'll select that one as the one to start. So we're looking now for a personalised email with everybody who's not renewed.
Chris, can I ask a question on that one? On the drop down there, you had email other U3A members, but how would you know who they are if they're not on your system?
Sorry, that's the name of a member of another U3A who are a member of your U3A. So it's just the name of a membership type.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So we've set up this thing called education session. We've got 70. It's picked out 76 people who haven't renewed, and now we can view the list. So nothing there to start with because it's looking for the A's, I think. But anyway, so you can just show all members. So here are the 76 it's picked, and these are the ones it hasn't picked. So it's not a hard and fast list here. You can change it if you want to. If you decide you didn't want to send it to Eamon Andrews, you can just knock him off the list. So if we take it off, we should only have 75. So you have this thing on the left here called refresh the list. So if you have chosen one of those selections on the previous page, you can, if you come back a few weeks later, and you can click the refresh list, and it will go back and give you the updated one. So if let's say people have now paid, and you click this and you want to send out another one to them, then you can click on the refresh list, and it will give you it will go and rerun it again. And you can see that what's happened is that it's gone back to 76 because there are 76. So if we go and have a look at the list, Eamon Andrews will be back in the list again. These ones here where a list wasn't used, where it was set up and the system doesn't know what the selection was, it doesn't give you this refresh list option. Right, the next, obviously, that's now you've decided who you want to send. Now you've decided what you want to say to them. So we've got this same format again. The only different thing is that there is an option here to retain or don't retain the format you're going to set up. I think some people ended up sending emails twice when they were out of date, and so we put this in here so that it doesn't retain it unless you ask for it to be retained. In other words, next time you go in, this same format will be still sitting here, or if you don't put that, it'll just come up blank. So, so you put a title in for the email, and then you put in whatever information you want to. Same thing applies here about templates. You've got the templates here. And so you've got all these options that you can put in. So if you're personalizing it, so you can put in the date they joined if you know it. So you can put loads of things in there. But if you go for the non-personalized one, you don't get those templates. I think it has confused people in the past that they've come along and said, well, I haven't got I had the templates there last week, they're not there this week, and that's because you took a different option earlier on. So, so once you've taken the put in the information you want, update it, and now it knows there's something there, so it gives you the option here to send emails out. Right. So I'm not going to send this because
there's another page, Chris. You can send it and then cancel it.
Yes, that's true. Yes, okay, I will do it. Yeah, okay, all right. So it then asks who you want to send it from. You can choose member, or you can say if you're sending it on behalf of somebody else, you can actually put it in there. and then it gives you a list of the people it's going to send it to and an email address that's going to it. So I'm not going to send that. And if I put the text in there, it will come up there as well. So
On that option there, Chris, am I right in thinking that if you do it from the bulk mail manager and it goes out to everyone and they've replied to the email, it'll just go to your dispatch address. But if you do a personalised one, so if you send it from yourself, if they reply to it, it will come back to you as a reply.
So I think there's well, perhaps it's worthwhile just talking now about when you send out an email, there's a from address, and generally that is a standard address, which would be something like dispatch at or whatever your account is called, or your Gmail account is called, but there is a second one called the reply to address. So in other words, most email systems, if you stick to reply to it, so those ones we just looked at, if I put my name in there, it would put my name is the reply to address, so that if somebody goes reply, it would go back to the reply to address rather than the address it's come from. So you've got some control over where governing who receives it back. You can see there's an information thing here which just shows whether it's a personalised one and those sorts of things. But that's not there.
That's what came to it, yeah.
I haven't deleted a lot of these, but there's a lot of rubbish in here that I should just go through, and obviously you can just take these things out when you don't need them. Now there is another way of creating a bulk email, and that is from the report generator. And if you wanted to create if you wanted, I don't know, to search for a particular set of criteria, you can do that. So let's right. So if we want to create the tutor table. Tutor table is the main person table, and you must have, if you're doing this, you must include the name ID. It needs the membership number in order to do this. So you have to include that particular field. But I'll just so add those fields. Report name, and so save the report. Right. So all I've done is created a report. The important thing is I've got that particular field in there. So if I've got that, then I can. You've got an entry here which says export to bulk email, and that will then take that. And now it's so if I go back to bulk email again, I will find there's a bulk email in there called report name, because you've now got 102 people, because that's what I selected. But if you create if you use the report generator to select out, you might, I don't know, I can't think of an example. Is it used widely, this?
Yeah, we've used it. I've used it. Yeah.
One thing to note with that, Chris, if you do create this bulk email via the report writer, you can't refresh the list because it's fixed.
Yes, that's right. So it's a way of getting a selection and sending out to us.
Oh, yes. When you want to use it, it's very useful.
Maybe Ken would use it for his selecting his new group if he wants it geographically, you know, with a postcode section in or something like that. Right, good. Okay, so I think that's pretty much a run round emails, bulk emails, contact us emails, and notifications. So does anybody want to sort of ask any questions or raise anything?
Just one thing, Chris. Is there an option there you've got to be careful with, because if you create this ready for other people to use, say your chair or whatever, isn't there something that it might be just for me? It says me, or is it for everybody, or is it for a specific person to use?
What I mean, bulk email feature?
Yes.
Yes. If you once you've created this list, actually, I think there is
No,
something.
there is. You saw it, Chris, when you actually created it. It said who's it available to.
You can actually reduce it. Yes.
Yeah, because I asked the question, and you have to, first of all, in the first instance, you have to get permission from your administrator to use a bulk email, so it is limited.
Oh yes, but I think Alan was worried about giving it, making all these things available to people who do have access to it, and maybe you don't want them to have access to some of the reports you've set up.
Yeah, not only that, you might just not notice that it's me only, and you ring them up and say you can do it all now, and then they come back and say no, we can't. Only you can do it.
Yes, right. Yes. So you're using me only sets it up for you. Does that work? I don't know. I think. Did anyone use that?
Yeah, I leave mine as me only.
And it does stop other people seeing it.
Well, as far as I know.
Yeah, it does. You need to change it to anyone with access to bulk email if you want others to be able to use it, or those 3 named people below. You asked about creating a report, Chris, and using it for bulk email. I've just had a quick look. We created a report. We've got one venue that we use quite heavily for groups and what have you, because we use them all over Peterborough, and they wanted to be able to email the group leaders, that only the group leaders that use this particular venue. So I created a report that picked up people using that venue and then made it available to whoever the devil it was that requested it. So yes, it's a useful one to be able to use via report writer.
Right, that makes sense, doesn't it? Yes, yeah.
Yeah, we had one recently where we sent it to new members the last couple of months, just to remind them about our meetings that we have every month. So we just picked people to join the last 3 months or something like that.
Right. Okay. So our hour is up. But anybody else want to raise anything? Anybody else relevant?
Just one. Sorry, I turned the camera off. I mean, having an ongoing issue with 2 members who are using a particular email provider called MailFence, and emails from our dispatch address bounce every time. I've tested it with emails from my own sort of personal andrew.s at Llandudno area U3A, and they get through. And I've actually sat down with the guy and dispatches in his whitelist on MailFence, and it's not getting through. I didn't know if anyone had any bright ideas.
Well, yes. So you're sending it to, what was the name of the
MailFence, mailfence.com.
Never heard of it.
No. It's just these 2 members who've got email addresses on there, and their whole email address is engraved in my brain because I keep getting the bounce messages. So.
Yes, Andrew, I don't know what we've got this new version coming in. Well, certainly before June, which is using the new access to Gmail or Workspace. I don't know whether that might make it more, because it's basically, I assume MailFence is saying they don't trust it.
Yeah, because I did wonder whether it was some sort of domain problem with having some parameters not set up. I'd had a similar thing with my own some while back, and it took a while to get it sorted. But that wouldn't explain why ones from andrew.s at Llandudno area get through, but dispatch at doesn't. And it's, yeah.
You can always change the dispatch app to another, create another Gmail account within your workspace and have dispatch to at.
Yeah.
See if it's something to do with maybe it's looking at some of these blacklists, and maybe at some point it's something has gone into one of those lists. There are loads and loads of those lists.
I did a sort of mail health check on the domain, and massive long list of blacklists, but not that we were on, but just that exist, you know. So yeah.
Yes.
Do we have a security system checking emails for us then?
In what way do you mean security system?
Well, when you send out a bulk email, is it only your security system that works, or is there a U3A security system for the emails that go out?
Well, are you talking about whether or not they get delivered?
Yes.
Well, you know, that's why we use Google to send it out, because it's a trusted delivery vehicle. And as I say, over time we found that was the best way of getting items delivered. But you know, as Andrew just said,
and what about vice versa then? If they find in their emails that they're sending out are getting blocked, is that due to us or not?
Hard to tell.
Yes, you mean emails that they're sending to?
Well, he said they're sending emails out and they're getting blocked.
Yeah, well, you just don't know. You know, emails are such a complicated thing, and there's so many checks and balances. There's so many different email providers as well, and some are happy. There was a problem with Live at one point, wasn't there?
Well, why I asked the question is I had a similar problem. I use Iola System Mechanics, which is quite a good comprehensive system. I've used it for a few years now, and because of that, I've paid in advance for another few years. But they will, if they don't trust the site that the email's coming from, they will block it.
Yes, yeah. Well, and of course, it is up to you know. I think we put in the start when people join that they should make the dispatch address part of their whitelist, which will tend to bypass some of these checks anyway. So it tends to let those through. But,
yeah, under the ad blocker system and stuff like that.
Yeah, but you know, even as Andrew said earlier on, even if you put them in the whitelist and they're still getting blocked, there's really not much you can do like that, you know. Right. So then what we want to do is where do we go next time?
We didn't do the renewal process, did you? So because you put that on.
The renewal process probably won't take more than 20 minutes, I would think. So if we're going to do the renewal, we could do something else at the same time.
I think Pam's interested in new membership as well. Some sort of indications of the process there.
So we could start with the joiners and walk all the way through and do
the battery on my mouse is failing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
You touched on authorization authorities when you were going through the email, so I don't know if you want to cover that. Authorities for the bulk email and other things.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do authorities. Is everybody happy of how systems details works in terms of setting up the various sections and deciding which ones to include, which ones to exclude? Is that something worth doing or not?
Well, it's probably worth explaining to people that you can have special sections if it's for a particular person.
I think there's quite a bit to that, Chris, sort of moving the features into the sections and setting up the various sections for your section details.
Yes.
I think that's the key to it all.
Right. Okay, well, we'll do that one next time as well. So we'll start off with joiners, joining and renewals. And then we'll have a quick look at authorities and do systems details. So hopefully that will take us an hour, hopefully.
Can I ask a favour of everybody before we leave? You can probably see my name, Ken Humphries, and I belong to the Portmadoc U3A. And we are trying to change now from Zoom meetings to live meetings. If anybody have knowledge of people who are willing to come up and give us a talk or whatever, I'd appreciate it. And you can email me I think you have my email address. If not, can you give it them, Chris?
Yep, yep.
Thank you very much.
So sorry, I might have misunderstood. What is it? You're looking for presenters?
We are, yes. Thank you.
So this is people to come along to Porthmadog and give their
Yes,
presentation.
please.
Right. I think we.
Has your local U3A region got a list, Ken? We're in Yorkshire and we've got a Yorkshire and Humberside regional U3A, which have a list of presentational speakers.
Yes.
Do you have a similar region that you can approach for a list?
Well, within the North Wales region,
Yeah.
Yes,
that's our regional area. Yes.
they do, Ken, they do have a list. I'm from Wrexham, and they do have a list of speakers. And the beauty of that is, hopefully, they're not too far away.
Yes.
You don't want people coming from Birmingham or things like
Devon,
that.
or Devon.
Or Devon.
Well, we have a lot of Brummies in our membership.
All right. Yeah.
They get.
Where
get
we
everywhere.
live, there's a lot of two home people.
Oh, they like Wales.
Yes.
One more thing is that a good contact, and she is here today, is Dee Reynolds from Bangor.
Dee Reynolds.
Yeah, she's just gone.
Yeah, she's
They're-
out.
Oh no, she's there.
Yeah, their speakers are not that far away from you. You know, they might come from
Yes.
Carmarthen or something like that. And
Turn
she
your
has-
mic on, D. You're muted.
She has a
Well,
lot of
since I
speakers.
originally come from Rowstuthlin, which is quite near Wrexham, would you ask her to kindly send me the addresses?
Dee Reynolds will be a good one, as I say, because they seem to get a lot of speakers.
Right, good. Okay. I think we're done then, aren't we?
Yeah.
I'd still like a word with you, Chris.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. In future, I think we ought to have a little session called Any Other Business.